Picture someone who did everything right, someone who believed the impossible, someone who walked away from everything, someone who waited 25 years, waiting for a promise that never came, and then they made a choice, and that choice split the world in two. This is not a story about faith. It is a story about what faith costs and what happens when you can no longer afford to pay. Her name was Hagar. You probably will not hear that name in most Sunday sermons. It does not get stitched into church banners, but she was there, and what happened to her is going to disturb you in ways no one warned you about. Sarai could not have children. 10 years had passed since they arrived in Canaan, 10 years of silence, and in that world, a woman without children was a woman without a future. Sarai knew that better than anyone. So she did something that shocks us today, but in her time, it was completely legal. She gave Hagar, her Egyptian slave, to her husband. Go into her. Whatever child comes from her will count as mine. And Abram went. Think about that for a second at Abram, the man called the father of faith. The man who left everything. The man who believed the impossible, did not resist. He did not say, "Wait! God will fulfill his promise." He listened and he acted. Hagar became pregnant, and when she found out, something changed inside her. She began to look at Sarai differently, with contempt. Can you blame her? She did not choose this. She had no voice, but the moment her belly began to grow, she found something she may never have had before: power. Sarai noticed, so she went to Abram and said, "This is your fault. I gave you my slave, and now she despises me. May the Lord judge between us." Abram answered with three words that reveal a man running from himself. "She is in your hands." He did not protect Hagar, the man who used her, now abandoned her. Sarai began to mistreat her, and Hagar fled into the desert. She stopped at a spring in the middle of nowhere, exhausted, pregnant, alone, and then someone appeared, the angel of the Lord, and the first thing he says is not a command, it is a question. "Hagar, where have you come from, and where are you going?" That matters more than it sounds. Heaven did not come down for Abraham, not for Sarai. It came for the runaway slave, for the woman the system had thrown away. And there, in the desert, she received a promise. Her son would be called Ishmael, which means God hears, and her descendants would be too many to count. Then she did something extraordinary. She gave God a name, El-Roi. The God who sees me, that no human being in the Bible had ever named God before that moment, not one. And it was Hagar who did it, the slave, the discarded one, the silenced one. 13 years passed. Ishmael was now a teenager. Abraham was 99 years old. And then God showed up again, not with a whisper, with a new name. "You are no longer Abram, you are Abraham, father of many nations." And with that new name came a new promise, a son, with Sarah, who was 90 years old. Abraham fell face down, and he laughed. He actually laughed. The text does not hide it. He laughs, and inside himself he thinks, can a 100-year-old man really have a child? Can Sarah, at 90, really give birth? And then Sarah laughed too. She was inside the tent. She overheard the visitors say that she would have a son, and she laughed to herself. Two laughs to moments where people who believe still could not hold back their disbelief. Isaac was born. The impossible became flesh, and Sarah said, "God has made me laugh, and everyone who hears this will laugh with me." But what should have been pure joy quickly turned into something else. During the feast, for Isaac's weaning, Sarah saw Ishmael and what she saw. Scholars still debate to this day, was he playing? Was he mocking? Was he laughing? In the end, it almost does not matter. What matters is what Sarah did next. She went to Abraham and said, "Get rid of that slave woman and her son. He will never share in the inheritance with my son." And then the text says something that hits like a knife. This deeply troubled Abraham because of his son. His son, the boy who had grown up on his lap. The boy who carried his blood, and now Abraham was being asked to throw him away. God told Abraham, "Listen to Sarah." And early the next morning, notice that, early the next morning, Abraham took bread and a skin of water. He placed them on Hagar's shoulders, and he sent her away. With the boy, the water ran out in the desert. Hagar placed Ishmael under a bush. He was dying, and she walked a short distance away, so she would not have to watch her child die. She wept, and God heard the boy crying. The angel called Hagar by name. "Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy." Twice. God came personally to Hagar in the desert twice. The woman the world had discarded twice was found by God. And then we come to the part no one can fully explain. The chapter pastors rush through, the chapter atheists point to. As proof of divine cruelty, the chapter believers read, "With not take your son, your only son, the one you love, Isaac, and go to the land of Amorach to offer him there as a burnt offering." Think about what Abraham knew. In that moment, he knew Isaac was the promise. He knew that without Isaac, there was no future. He knew he had waited 25 years for this son, and now God was asking for him. And early the next morning again, Abraham got up. He saddled his donkey, he split the wood, and he left with his son. 3 days of walking, 3 days looking at this boy, while carrying something he could not explain. Then Isaac said, "Father," and Abraham answered, "Yes, my son. We have the fire, and we have the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" And Abraham said, "God himself will provide the lamb, my son." And the two of them went on together. That phrase appears twice in the Hebrew text. The two of them went on together before Isaac's question, and after it, father and son walking together toward an unexplainable destination. Abraham bound his son, laid him on the altar, reached out his hand, and took the knife. Abraham, Abraham. His name called twice, double the urgency, double the tenderness. Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me even your only son, and there in the thicket a ram caught by its horns. And Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide," Yahweh Jireh. But the story does not end there, because this chapter begins with these words. After these things, God tested Abraham. After these things, after Hagar, after Ishmael, after sending a son away at dawn, after all of it, do you see what the text is doing? Abraham had already sacrificed a son, Ishmael. This morning had already happened once before, and no altar, no drama. No angel at the last second. Just bread, just water. And a man who did turn around. Genesis 16-20 is not the story of a perfect man. It is the story of a broken man. A man whose failures the Bible never tried to hide. A man who used a woman. A man who abandoned a son. A man who laughed at the promise. A man who obeyed too late. A man who obeyed too soon. And yet, heaven kept opening over him. And the God who saw Hagar in the desert is the same God who stopped Abraham's knife. On the mountain, the same God, the only God. El-Roi. Yahweh Jireh, the God who sees, the God who provides. Maybe the real question is not, how did Abraham survive all of that? Maybe the real question is, how did God survive Abraham